Yo, I'm eating my midnight snack. It's not midnight. What time is it? I think it's like 9. Or it's 8. Oh, let me... Oh, wait, I can show you what I'm eating. There's a banana, date, peanut butter, and dark chocolate. And yes, dark chocolate is better than milk chocolate. The texture's better. But, yeah, I was bored, so I wanted to talk more. And the one thing is sushi. I love sushi. And if I could marry a food, it would be sushi. Because if you think about it, sushi is like, it's a perfect bite every single time. You have rice, which are your carbs. You have sometimes like fish. I don't know, there's some sushi that are like just like avocado and cucumber. But you have a protein. Then you have a vegetable. And then if there's avocado, that's fat. So you have your fats. It's everything in one. It's almost like the perfect person. But I love sushi. The most pieces I've ever eaten in one sitting is like 56. I'll show you my plate. The place I go to, Sushi Bomb, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, so you can eat as much as you want. And my old max was like somewhere in the 40s, but I leveled up. I upgraded. My stomach got bigger, which is surprising because it was already big. Let me find some. Here's me in 2020. What a fine looking dude. No, seriously, like when I remember that, like I just think of being hot and uncomfortable. Hold on. Here's my breakfast from a couple months ago. Looking crazy. It was good though. I don't know where it's at. It should be like around April. I don't know. But I had this at Benihana. I was thinking last night of stories I could tell you guys. You guys, like, I don't know who's listening to this. I don't know if anyone will ever. Well, no, people listen to this. But a couple weeks before I quit my old job, there was this couple. One was Flo and the other guy was Jim. I think Jim was like 90. No, maybe not 90, maybe like 85. Maybe I'm like making shit up. Maybe he was like 75. I don't know. He was older. But Flo, his girlfriend, was like 104. She was like really old. But like, props to her for being that old, because that's crazy. I think her mom made it to like 108, which is insane. But we were serving bratwurst, which is, we serve foods that like older people ate when they were little. Not the bratwurst. I mean, I like bratwurst, but I don't know. I feel like the new food is like sushi and organic things. I don't know. But I went over, and mind you, Jim and Flo, they were kind of dating. They were like a thing. Like they were like a thing from like high school. Like just like they were together. And I gave Jim his bratwurst, and then I gave Flo her bratwurst. And Jim was like, "Well, that kind of looks like my thing." And I mean, I mean, I kind of be professional. I couldn't be like, "Oh my god, like, what the fuck?" But I don't know. I went back in the back and I told him, I was just kind of like, "Girl, what the fuck? What?" But there are some crazy stories about them. They when Jim first moved in, because Flo was there for like 9 years, and Flo was kind of like the person that introduced Jim, and I went over to their table to like get, I think to get their drinks or something like that, and they were talking about like a queen size bed. I don't know. And there was another guy there named Ken. Mind you, Ken is gay. Love Ken. He was super nice. And when I went over, Ken was like, "Yeah, we're making plans." I was like, "What kind of plans are you making?" I was just like, "Okay." And then I hear Flo say like, "Yeah, I got a queen size bed back in my room." I was like, "Girl, at 104, what are you gonna be doing?" But God bless her soul for me able to do that old. I think I'd want to be left alone. But there was some crazy thing that went on. Like before I worked there, there was a guy, a manager, who got put on house arrest because he was doing child pornography or like he had it all over his room. Insane. But they still let him work there. He worked there with an ankle brace on. Which that's wild. Like, I mean, I know elderly people aren't children, but that's still wild. But yeah. I don't know. Kind of bored. I'm sit in silence until I think of something. I made edits of my brother. Hold on. I don't know if they're gonna work. Okay. Let's start with. Okay, so here's the context. I get this text from my brother, and he sent it in a group chat between me, my twin, and my older brother. And it's a. I don't know if like people seen this on TikTok, but it's a thing where you're like being like incredible gassy. Mind you, I didn't know what this meant when it was sent to me, but here it is. It's kind of disturbing. So he sent me that out of the blue, and I kind of looked at it. I think I was playing Ghost of Yotei. I was kind of like, okay, like, oh, that's what? So I decided I was going to lay an arsenal of edits on him. Remember that one? It was alright. This is my favorite one. He looks like Patrick Star. Hold on. With the 1 tooth. Hold on. Let me try and. Pinhead. That's what he looks like. Or more so like this. But yeah. There was that one. And then I like this one. This picture was funny because we had. This was back in 2020. Me and my brother were bigger. Since then, we lost weight. And it was over my grandparents' house, and we were all wearing black. He was the only one wearing white. And for some reason, his head was so red, he looked like a tomato. Not to say I didn't look like a tomato back then, but that's whatever. And we decided to put him front and center. So everyone's like in his shadow, and he just looks like a beefsteak tomato. If you know what I mean. But that's why that was funny. I'm like, That's another thing I struggle with is like my body image, because I feel like humans are held to such a standard now of like what they're supposed to look like because of what celebrities look like, and that's not how life should be lived. You should just enjoy whatever the fuck you want. Like sometimes I'll eat this shit, and it's all natural. Like it's all. I mean, I don't know if the chocolate chips are natural. I think they are. Like I'll eat this and then I'll ponder on it for like an hour. Like, oh my god, I ate too much. Like I'm gonna gain all the way back. And in reality, I'm not. But I don't know. It's fucked up how like society makes people think about food and like what they should eat. And I don't know what's going on right here. Something going on over there. It ain't right. But yeah, I really don't have anything to talk about. Let me think. My freshman year, I was on track. And I hated track. I just did track because I liked someone. I had a crush on someone in high school that was joining track, so I figured, why not? And that goes deeper. That story. It goes. It's kind of what started why I hated high school. But it was my first meet. The actual first meet that I was supposed to go to, I couldn't go to because I got COVID. And mind you, this place was like 2.5 hours away from my house, and you're there for like 12 hours, and it's dead winter. It's indoor track, so it's freezing. So I didn't go the first time. I went the second time, and I was so nervous to run. I didn't eat the entire time. So I think that had to do something. I was just kind of like I wasn't thinking straight, and I was texting my mom. I'm just like updating her, saying like what's going on, and I didn't notice that I was walking because the place where our team was right behind or like right next to like the jumping, like the long jump. Is it long jump? Yeah, long jump. And I walked in front of this guy. Mind you, this guy is built. He is huge. And I was frail. I was skinny because I lost a shit ton of weight. I took it too far. I was just really small. This kid, not the kid, this guy, he could have whooped my ass and I'd be pulverized. But what was even worse is my head coach was standing right next to us. She was such a bitch. I did not like her. To put it in perspective, there was maybe like 50 kids on the team. I don't know about that much, but there was a lot of kids on the team my freshman year, and then in my senior year, I think there was only like 12 because she was a bitch. She was so mean. She was a good coach in terms of teaching how to run and do all that shit, but like as a person, she was just mean. And when I walked in front of it, all I heard is Michael. She screamed my name, and I just kind of froze. I was kind of like, because we were in a bubble, like it echoed, and everything went silent. I was like, I was on my phone. I was like, and then I hear my name being screamed. I hear Michael. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? And I just see her, and then I look to my right, and I see this guy coming after me. He's like, I'm gonna fucking beat you up. I'm gonna hurry up. I was like, huh? What? I didn't do anything. I did do something. I messed up his jump, but I didn't know they took it that seriously. They took it really seriously. So I got kind of flustered, and I did start crying in front of the person I liked, which was kind of humiliating. But the assistant coach was right there, and he liked me. His name was Jim. I fuck with Jim. He was nice, and he knew that our head coach could be kind of a bitch. I'm not gonna call her a bitch, just mean. She's just like a mean person. And when I started crying, he came over to me. He's like, "Do you want me to go yell at her?" I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know why I did that, but I don't know. So I finished out the year there. Well, no, another thing happened. It was the practice after that day, the week after, and after we did our warm-ups, everyone went back to the locker rooms to, I don't know, go to the bathroom, get changed. I don't know what the fuck they did in there. But it was always me left with the head coach, and she came up to me and she's like, "So we're not gonna walk in front of people this week coming up." I'm like, "No, you're acting like I meant to do that. I'm out here like, oh yeah, let me go sabotage this guy. Get the fuck out of here, man." But yeah, I finished out, and then that week after, we went to a track meet, and I was already there for like 8 hours. I only competed once. It was just kind of dumb, and my family showed up. And I told my head coach, I'm like, I'm gonna go home with my family because they're my family. I want to go home. Like, I thought that was pretty reasonable. Little did I know I needed a travel release form. I didn't have one of those because I didn't know anything about it. And when I told her, I said I'm going home, she's like, "No, you're not." And in my head, I was like, "Yes, I am. Like, they're my family." And she's like, "Well, you need permission." I'm like, "From who? My mom? Like, you need my mom's permission?" She's right there. But I didn't get to go home with them. But yeah, track was kind of shitty. I didn't really like track. But the whole reason I joined was because of this girl I liked. And she liked me back. At least I think she did. Because she didn't, like, because we did the whole thing, like, we stared at each other in classes and in the hallway, like, that whole little thing. So we start snapping each other. That's another thing, like, Snapchat's just kind of like, I don't know, there's so much drama on there. And sometimes I don't see the point of just sending pictures to each other. I don't know. But we start getting closer, like FaceTiming and all that. And then, like, halfway through, like, freshman year, we're in gym class and we're playing badminton. And it's me, her, and then her two friends. And they're in my grade, so I'm kind of friends with them too. And out of nowhere, she's like, "Do you guys think Michael's gay?" And I was just kind of like, I mean, like, what are you saying that? Like, and they all kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck? Like, I can't remember what they said, but that's what started everything. And then my entire freshman year, that was kind of what went on. And then I think I kind of believed it. I kind of played into that role. But yeah, I don't know. And then I started something that I shouldn't have started. But I don't know. Imagine being called gay by the person you liked. That's fucked up. But I don't know. We're chill now. I graduated, so I probably won't see her ever again. But no, she's cool. She's the one that got me into K-pop. And that's another thing. K-pop. I started getting into K-pop like around 2020, like mid to late 2021. And then my first group was ENHYPEN. And that's another thing that we share in common. Like, I liked K-pop because of the girl I liked. Not embarrassing, it's just kind of like, okay. I think I just wanted to like something so we could talk about something. But once I started listening to them, I actually started liking them. And then, I don't know, if you ever listened to K-pop back then, like COVID times, like, people thought you were weird. And that's so dumb because it's just a pop in another language. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's what people over in Korea listen to probably. And they probably listen to our music. What do they call it? A-pop? But, yeah. I listened to K-pop for maybe like 2 years. And I stopped listening to it, I think because I wanted to put the old me, like, away. Like, I wanted to just cover up who I was, so I didn't even want to associate with K-pop. But here comes K-pop Demon Hunters, and now everyone suddenly likes K-pop. And that includes my brother. I remember I showed my brother a music video. He's looking and he said, "You know what? It looks like a kindergartner threw up on the background." And he was getting on me for listening and watching K-pop videos. Well, now his favorite group is ENHYPEN. Midge, don't play. I don't know. I'm just kind of bullshit. I don't know what to talk about. I'm just bored. And all I do is I eat and watch TV. Or YouTube. But yeah. I don't know what to talk about. See, this is a problem. I don't do anything, so I don't have anything to talk about. I was at Sushi Bomb. Bitch, it sounds like I'm always there. I used to always be there. I still go pretty often, but not as often as I did. But, I was there. I went with my friend. And whenever we were walking in, I'm like, I can't wait to eat the inside. I don't know what came over me. I don't know why I said that. I can't wait to eat the inside. Like, what are you talking about? Inside of what? So it was almost like a pause situation. Like, what do you mean by eat the inside? So that kind of went over. And then when we were sitting there, we were talking about our favorite pops. And I was like, yeah, I used to drink Squirt. I used to drink Squirt. Like, and Squirt's an actual, like, hold on. You know what I'm talking about. Squirt, the pop. But I guess since it's not that popular, like, I guess if you say that, I don't know, it sounds weird. I drink Squirt. So that went over, and then something happened where something with my friend's throat was like itching. I'm like, I said something about it's in your throat or something like that. So I don't know. That was just a, I don't know. I don't know what I was on. It was a sushi. It was a parasite. But I don't know. The Victoria's Secret fashion show just happened. And I watched Quinn walk. And I don't care if people say just because she's an influencer, she shouldn't be able to walk there because it's impossible, almost impossible runway to walk. But I mean, you have to think, like, she's big for a reason. She's popular. And whenever you are that popular, you get opportunities. And who would say no to walking on the Victoria's Secret fashion runway show? Like, but I mean, you could make the argument that, like, models have been walking forever and they might not ever get the chance to walk on the Victoria's Secret to be an angel. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about something. I don't know. Sorry, this kind of sucked. I was just talking while I was eating. But yeah, see you later.